And time now for another check of your weather forecast. Brittany, a gloomy and cold weekend, and a lot of folks were hoping to see some snow here in Charlotte.
I still think there's a chance to see something, Siobhan. It's just not going to be a big chance here. Now, if you're thinking about the wind, it's pretty much tomorrow, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Most of us, if anything, getting a rain to snow mix with relatively minimal impacts. One of the big reasons why is that we have been so warm over the last few weeks. I posted this actually on social media yesterday, and I used the word recently, to which then people said, oh my gosh, the last week has been really cold, which is absolutely true. But remember, last Saturday we were in the 70s, and over Christmas we had so many 70-degree days. So overall, it's actually been a pretty warm winter. So the ground temperatures are not nearly as cold as the air temperature has been, which helps because that means that most, if anything, is not going to stick, which means lesser impacts on the roads. One thing we will watch Monday morning is that refreeze potential and that impact to potentially black ice, which again, is going to be better because it's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. A lot of people have the long holiday weekend off of work and school. So overall, Monday means less people out on the roads. Now, the reason why I use the term manage expectations is that regardless of what happens, this is not going to be a big snowstorm. We still do have the chance for a little bit of light accumulation, about a trace to 0.1 from pretty much the Charlotte area, eastern Gaston, Lincoln County, all the way down towards Cheraw. You'll notice I have trimmed this a little bit further north and west, but also a little bit further east because it looks like we're going to have more moisture tomorrow. That's been a trend over the last 24 hours. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean we have a higher chance of getting more accumulation, but that means a higher chance that any spots that are cold enough could see some of that rain to snow or rain mix eventually turn over to snow. The issue before was that we really weren't expecting to have the cold and the moisture at the same time. Now it looks like the moisture is trending upward, but the cold still stays the same. And so when you have temperatures in the upper 30s near the ground, if it's 32 or below all the way up here, you can get snow that stays as it gets closer to the ground, but it eventually starts to melt. This is what you'll often hear referred to as white rain because it's essentially melting as it comes down throughout the atmosphere. Now, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich posted this online earlier, did get his permission to share with you guys. But again, another thing that comes with managing expectations is what a trace, what accumulation of some sort actually looks like. Trace is all the way to your left. That's where you see those fat snowflakes, that white rain. A dusting is when you get some accumulation on elevated surfaces and grassy areas, but maybe not necessarily on the roads. But in order for it to be 1 inch of snow, everything has to be covered. We're somewhere in between these two for any of these areas that do see snowflakes tomorrow. Again, likely not a lot of accumulation, but we certainly could see some of those big fat snowflakes. So if you see it, it'll be a luxury. You're pretty much the exception, not the rule. As we look at satellite and radar right now, you can see a few areas of light rain developing north of Charlotte. This is showing us increasing moisture in the atmosphere. This was expected and will continue into the overnight hours. Notice some light rain by about 10 o'clock tonight. As we look ahead to tomorrow morning, we'll see that light rain early. Notice temperatures still in the 40s, but it's this late morning, early afternoon that we'll start to see some of that changing over at times into some of that wintry mix. So again, eastern Gaston, eastern Lincoln, southern Iredell and areas east have the biggest chance to see that, and mainly between 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yes, again, these numbers have come up a bit since yesterday because again, more moisture expected. I think we're at about a 50-50 shot right now that we do get that trace to 0.1. There's still a pretty good chance that we could accumulate nothing, but again, that'll be the exception, not the rule, if you're able to get some kind of accumulation. Behind this storm system, we know a big cool down is coming. It's something we've been talking about for days now. And as you look at your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, I want to draw your attention to very, very chilly starts to the day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 3 mornings in a row with lows in the 20s.